Welcome back, fellow warriors. I'm the Martial Scholar, and this is To Black Belt and Beyond. If it's your first time viewing one of my videos, please smash that like button, hit the subscribe if you enjoyed the videos on the channel, and turn on your notification bells so that you can be notified when new videos are uploaded. Without further ado, let's begin. So today we're following our Yoga for Men series, and we're on episode 5. So big shout out to Breath and Flow. Please go check out their videos, very helpful, especially if you're active in sports or physical activities. So calm down to a nice seated position, sit on your heels and just relax for a little while. Breathe in and out, get yourself nice and centered, relax, and just focus on your intentions for the day, what you want to do. Feel your body. Look where there's any aches or pains or any place where you feel uncomfortable, and put your focus and your attention in that area and try to ease that pain, ease that distress, and really focus on your breathing. So calm, lie down, keep your feet close or your feet planted onto the floor. You can keep it close to your glutes, or you can, keep it further away from you. Place your left hand on top of your heart and your right hand on your stomach, and breathe in and out. Take in nice deep breaths. Continue with that self-examination. Continue with that focus on your intention on what you want to accomplish for today's lesson. It doesn't have to be anything spectacular. It could just be, I want to follow through with the entire routine without taking any breaks. Simple things. So take time, breathe in and out. Try and really find relaxation, comfort, and just de-stress from the week or the day's activities. Take nice steady breaths. Remember, it's about your intention for today's practice, your focus on your healing of your body, healing of your mind, healing of your spirit. While you're breathing, try and breathe into your lower diaphragm. Let your left hand not really move that much. Let your right hand be the one that inhales and exhales. Lower your heart rate. Lower the speed of your thoughts, and just relax. Now, when you're ready, place your both hands to the side of you and thrust your hips up into the air and hold it there. Really work on your hips, really being pushed to the ceiling. Imagine a string drawing you up from your hips, and maintain that position. Remember to breathe in and out. Raise your right leg and keep it up in the air while your hips are in the air. Keep that right foot flexed, lower down, and then raise back up your hips, lower down, and then raise your hips back up, lower down. One more time, then place your leg down. While your hips are in the air, repeat the maneuver with your left leg. Keep that left foot flexed. Keep the hips up, then lower down, up, then lower down, up, then lower down. Last one, up, and then place your left foot down. Still maintain that hip in a high position. Still keep it up. Lower down. Relax. Breathe in. Now grab both your ankles and rock up and down, forward and backwards, and then land in a boat pose. Try and keep your legs parallel in a straight line. Extend your arms and sit in a nice V shape. Hold it and maintain that structure. If you can, point your toes. This is about balance. This is about control. And gently lower down while keeping your feet and your shoulders off of the mat. Raise your hands above your head and then go back into boat pose. Try and find balance and then go back. Raise your hand over your head and then go back into boat pose. Lower back down. Raise your hand above your head and then back into boat pose and hold. Go back down. Raise your hand over your head and then back into boat pose. And once again, back down and then back into boat pose. Place both feet down. Now come into tabletop. Make sure your wrists are in the alignment with your shoulders and go into cow and cat pose. Inhale cow, exhale cat. Really get that arch. Exhale or inhale cow, exhale into cat. Make sure your upper back is bent and then start moving forward or back on your wrist. Sit back. Make sure that your feet are flexed, that your feet are not flat, and then move forward on your wrist. Only go as far as you're comfortable. Don't go further than you need to, and just keep on moving forward and back. Really work and stretch out your wrists. It's good for people who type, boxers, practitioners of jiu-jitsu, Wing Chun, or just using your hands on a daily basis. Now flip your hands so that your fingers are pointing sideways and then start moving side to side. Keep your hands close to your wrists, or keep your hands close together when you're doing this, and then move it side to side. Now place your hands and your fingers should be facing your knees, and then gently sit back. Only go as back as you require. Move up and down, and then sit back on your heels and shake out your wrists. Raise your hand up above your head. Take a nice deep breath. Really stretch. And then come back into tabletop position. Now, while you're in tabletop position, really adjust yourself, and I want you to focus on the energy or you pushing into the ground and focusing between your forefinger and thumb on both hands. Really focus on the energy coming from there. Align yourself, get yourself ready, move around a little bit, adjust where you need to adjust. As you can see, I'm flexing my back, getting myself into position, and when you're ready, hover both knees off of the floor ever so slightly, just very slightly. Really push into the ground to give you that lift and maintain. Lift your right knee to your chest. Keep that knee up. Keep both knees up, and then go back with the right knee. Still maintain that lift. Don't put both knees on the floor. Keep them still in the air. And now do the same thing with the left knee. Still maintain that lift Try and lift that left knee as high up as you can, and then go back. Keep both knees on the floor, off of the floor, and then go into downward facing dog. Get a nice stretch. Really push through those forefingers and thumb. Really try and get that back as straight as possible. Go deep into it. If you want, you can bend your knees and push even more through the forefinger, the palm of the hands, and open up your scapulars. And then when you're comfortable, straighten your knees. Take nice deep breaths here. Keep on breathing in and out. Try and maintain that downward facing dog. If you need to rest, and then when you're ready, come in, walk your hands in and come into a L stand. Take a breath and then lower. Raise up back into a L stand and then lower. Again, L and then lower. Exhale. Bend your knees and slowly raise up, lifting your hands above your head, and then go back down. Take a L and then lower back down. Bend your knees, rise slowly up, raise your hand, and then lower back down. These are some sun salutations. Breathe, go back into plank. Hold that plank, maintain it. Treat these planks and downward facing dogs as recovery positions. Make sure your tailbone is tucked in. You're working on your abs, your glutes, your arms, your legs. Breathe. Maintain this position. Breathe in and out. Move forward and then lower down into chaturanga. Push back up. Hold that position. Move forward and then lower back down into chaturanga. Lower all the way to the floor. And then raise up for a cobra. Keep your feet flat. Make sure you're keeping that position. Use your lower back. Breathe in and out. Lower back down. Bring your hands close to your sides. And then push back up into plank and then downward facing dog. Adjust yourself where you need to. Try and control your breathing. Go into a plank position and then hold that plank for a little while. If you need to rest anytime, rest. Now switch into a side plank. Go onto your left palm and raise your right hand. So you're on the blade of your feet, left foot, and if you can, raise your right leg. If you can't lift that right leg, still maintain that plank and try and hold it. Try and gain your balance here. Lift the leg as high as possible and try and maintain that balance. Then what you want to do is to come into a lizard position, and that's how you do that, by bringing your right foot up to your right hand. Keep both hands in between your right leg and then just move around. Get that low lunge. Move your joints around, find the different spaces in this position. If you can lower your elbows to the ground while still maintaining that low lunge. Remember to breathe in and out. Still move around in those spaces. Check out any nooks or crannies. Now, in the next sequence of moves, you're going to use your right arm as a counterbalance. And what you're going to do is you're going to move your right arm behind you, and then in an arcing swinger-like motion, you're going to bring it in front of you. And as you do, you're going to go into a triangle, lifting that leg and then moving back down into the low lunge, and repeat it, triangle, and then rotating the arm back down and going to low lunge, and then repeating triangle, and then once again moving that hand back down and then repeating it, triangle. So you then place the left leg on the floor, and with the right hand grab your left leg with your pinky toes and try and bend. You can go onto try and lift your torso up. You're doing like a back bend twist. You're working on your glutes, your abs, your torso, your hip flexors. Quite a lot of things is happening at this moment. Don't forget to breathe in and out. You can go onto the blade of your right foot if you want, or you can just turn your right foot at a 45-degree angle. Release. Bring both hands in between your right foot, and then go back into three-legged downward facing dog. Hold that position. Lift up that left leg, and then bring the right knee in between your arms and just hold it there, and then extend that right leg through and in between your left side, and then straighten your left hand upwards. Be on the blades of your feet and keep your hips up. Maintain that posture. Keep that hip up, and then lower back down. Do not touch the floor. Raise back up, lower back down, raise back up, and then lower back down and raise back up. Then return back into downward facing dog. Then go into plank. Lower down into chaturanga, hover, push back up into plank, and then downward facing dog. Lower back down into plank, and then chaturanga all the way to the floor. Grasp your hands behind your back and lift your chest and your feet off of the ground. Spread your legs wider to get a higher lift with your chest. The more your legs are together, the harder it is. Breathe in and out. Don't forget to breathe, and then relax. Place both hands beside you. And then push up into downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. Breathe. Come up to your toes and go into plank. Hold that position and then switch. Go onto the right side of your feet. Go onto the blade and extend your left hand up. Keep that right hip up. Maintain that structure. If you can lift your left leg, do so, and try and maintain that balance. And then go into the lizard lunge. Move around, fill in all those spaces, all those joint areas. Get a nice stretch. If you want to, you can lower your elbows to the floor. Make sure you're breathing in and out. And then start making the moves to go forward and backwards into the triangle. The arm, left arm, goes all the way back and then comes all the way forward. Left arm all the way back and then comes all the way forward. And while you're doing that, you're maintaining a nice stretch, using your strength in your quads, your hamstrings, in your calf, and your stretch them. Then go back into a low lunge with the right knee on the floor, and then with your left hand, reach behind and grab your right pinky toe. What you can do is you can pull with your foot and bring your torso up and get a nice back bend as well as a twist. You can go onto the blade of your left foot if you want. Release. Bring your hands back in between your left leg and then go into three-legged downward facing dog. Bring that left leg or left knee in between your hands, hold it there, maintain it. Try and keep that knee high up, close to you, and then kick your left leg through to the right side and keep your hips up. Be on the blades of your feet. Lower your hips down and then come back up. Hold it. Lower your hips down and then come back up. Lower the hips down and then come back up. A few more times. Down, up, and then go back into plank. Move forward, chaturanga, hover, and then push back up into plank. Move forward, chaturanga, hover, and hold. Hold, and then release. Take nice deep breaths. Stretch out your hands to either side of you and lift your arms, your chest, your legs, your feet, everything up off the floor. Breathe in and out while you're in this position. Breathe in and out. And then relax. Take a few seconds here. Bring your hands beside you and then push into cobra. You can keep your legs further apart to get a higher lift. Ultimately, you want your hips up off the floor. Your neck should, imagine you're pushing your chin into your neck, and you want to try and maintain a nice curvature. Now start going into downward facing dog. Hold it there. Take nice deep breaths. Breathe in and out, and then move forward into a lower cobra, and then back down into a lower cobra. Always on your toes. Move down into a low cobra. Make sure your hips are not touching and remain there. Back down into downward facing dog. Take nice deep breaths. Really try and work on those shoulder blades. Try and open them up. Try and get that deep sinking feeling on the top part of your of your torso. Walk your hands up, come into the L sit. Take a breath and then release. Grab your elbows and just float there. Let everything go. I like to put my hands underneath my feet and stretch my feet and then sit back down. While seated, place your hands as far back as you're comfortable and go into a reverse tabletop. You can let your head hang or you can hold it, whatever you feel comfortable with. Keep those hips up and then move your hips towards your ankles and then sit back down. Lift up your chest and then sink. Lift up your chest and then sink. Lift up your chest and then sink into it. Open up your shoulder blades, open up your shoulders, and then gently with the boat pose go back down. Go into a happy baby. Grab the inside of your feet or the outside of your feet, wherever you're comfortable with. Try and keep your lower back on the floor and your shoulders on the floor. And then just sit there and release all the tension, any pressure. Stretch your leg if you want to. Be gentle. Keep on breathing in and out. Take your right leg and place it over your left knee with your right foot flexed. Grab your left knee and then bring it closer to your torso or your chest. Keep that right foot flexed and look after your knee. Only go as far as you're comfortable with. Relax there. You're pulling and stretching your hamstrings, your lower glutes, hip flexors. And then release. Repeat the same. What you do, raise up your hips, lower back down. Repeat the same with the left leg. Place over the right knee. Make sure the left foot is flexed. And then bring the right knee close to your chest. Reinforce it with your hands. Stretch out your lower back, your hamstrings, your glutes. Move around, rock around if you feel inclined to. And then release. Raise your hips up off of the floor. Keep it up. And then release. Place your right hand on your stomach and your left hand on your heart. And relax, reconnect with yourself, control your breathing, calm yourself down, assess yourself again. And then when you're ready, go into Vinasana. Totally let go. Be nice and calm, relax, and take your time. It's really important that after every single yoga practice, you just take time and have some minutes to yourself. Really immerse yourself in this practice. It's as important as you trying to do a split or a handstand. Okay guys, thank you for your time. I shall leave it here. If you wish to stay longer, please do so. Thank you for your time. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like. If you enjoyed the videos on my channel, subscribe, turn on the notification bells so that you could be notified when new videos drop. Apart from that, I've been the Martial Scholar. This has been my journey to black belt and beyond. Until next time, safe travels on your journeys. Peace.